friends, today we're going to be making a miniature pull pinata, and a pull pinata is one where you pull a string at the end of your pinata, and if you pull the right one, whoosh, all kinds of fun stuff falls out. You can fill your pinata with little candies, you can fill it with small toys. I've seen some people fill theirs with confetti. You can make, we're gonna start again. Hello friends! Welcome to the instructional video for our pull pinatas, our mini pull pinatas. We are gonna make these from some tissue paper, some ribbons, some streamers, and a cardboard tube, and you guys have those in your kits. In addition, you'll need some scissors and some tape and some stuff to fill your pinata. Usually pinatas have fun stuff in them like candies or small toys. You can fill your pinata with anything you want. It just has to fit through your cardboard tube, so you might want to test before you get started and just make sure anything you want to do, just drop it in one end, make sure it falls out the other. All right. The first thing we have to do then, after you've tested, is make sure that when you put things in to hang the pinata and use it as a pinata, we have to make sure that those things don't fall right back out. So the first thing we're going to do is take our tissue paper, and I'm going to fold mine in half going one way and in half going the other way, so I get a smaller square. And what that will do is give us a few layers, which will help when we fill it to hold things in, because tissue paper isn't super strong and we've made it stronger by making it a few layers. We're going to tape this to the bottom of our pinata, and what I'm going to do, this is kind of a complicated part because we're going to be adding the ribbons that you pull at the same time. I'm going to tape one corner, and then I'm going to take the opposite corner, so this one here, and pull that up and tape it. And then before I tape the other corners, what I'm going to do is thread my ribbon through so that it goes between my tissue paper and my cardboard tube. Alright, so if you angle this a little bit, it will not block the corners from getting taped up, and all you have to do, I'm going to make sure mine goes diagonal, and then you just tape up the other two corners. And you don't want to tape this too tightly, if that makes sense. You want to have it be a little bit loose, because these are the strings you're going to tug on to pull the pinata apart. And what you don't want is to pull on this and have the tissue paper stay. So the next thing we're going to do after we've done that is we're actually going to take these and we're going to tape them to the bottom of our tissue paper, just to make it a little bit extra stable. So you can see I've got those now hanging down from the middle so that I can tug that all off. What I'm going to do, I might have pushed this tape down a little hard. I'm going to peel it all up and then stick it back down. And as everybody knows, when you peel up tape and stick it back down, it's never as strong as it was before, which in this case is a good thing. So there we go. We've got the mechanics of our piñata. Now, we want to make some of this a little bit surprising. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another ribbon and I'm going to also tape this one to the bottom, but it's not going to be on the inside, so when we pull that one, if you pull one ribbon, the ribbon will just come off. If you pull the right ribbon, the whole thing will come apart, theoretically. Or you can pull on all four and use all four working together. It just makes it look a little bit more fun to have more than two ribbons hanging off there. And you can also curl these ribbons if you're feeling fancy. What you do is you take your scissors and you use just one side. You take it and you put it against your ribbon and you hold it flat with your thumb against kind of the sharp part of the scissors, so be careful. And then what you do is you pull really fast, and that's what creates your curls. Ready? 1, 2, 3, boop! Curls! I'll do it again. So I put it flat, I hold it with my thumb, and curls! Ribbon curls are a lot of fun. I like making them. And now we have curly ribbons for our piñata. Ah, ta-da! And now this just looks like a cardboard tube with some paper taped to it. It does not look nice and fun or anything really like a piñata. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some streamers to the outside. And traditionally, piñatas have fringed paper on them. So we're gonna fringe our streamers. Let's put our tube to the side for a moment. I'm gonna take my streamer and I'm just going to fold it up a little bit, probably till it's about that big. And that will make it easier to cut just because then I'm cutting through more than one layer at a time. If you want to do your streamers in one layer, that's fine too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut slits up through my paper, but I'm not gonna cut all the way to the top. I'm gonna stop right about here so that I've got a solid piece up here and my fringe down here. And you can cut your fringe as wide or as narrow as you want. You can make it really skinny, you can make it really wide, whatever you feel like. And there we go. Now I have a fringy piece. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do these all at once. I'm going to do that with all of my streamers, so that I have a bunch of fringy pieces. There we go. Ta-da! Beautiful fringed paper. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to use a different color. Going to wrap it around so that it hangs down. The first time I want it to hang down a little bit below the edge, and I'm going to wrap it around once. Oop, I forgot an important part, you guys. Grown-ups forget stuff all the time, let me tell you. So when you start wrapping, put a piece of tape on this end. And then, after you've wrapped it around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip this to the length I want and tape that down. And then I'm going to do stripes going up my piñata. It's like it's wearing a little skirt. And I'm gonna start in different places every time so that we don't have all the tape in one spot. I'm gonna tape that end, wrap it around, and you want to overlap so that it covers up the solid part of your fringe from the last layer, but so that the fringe still is hanging out the bottom. So you're adding like a skirt on top of a skirt on top of a skirt, and we'll tape down that other end. I'm going to do a green layer, overlap it, tape it down, wrap it around, and snip. And you just keep going, boop, 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 right up to the top of your piñata. Ta-da! Oop, I forgot to tape at the beginning, but cool thing, if you do that, you can just put the tape on both at once. Sometimes there are little tricks. And you should have more than enough streamers to cover your whole piñata. If you want to, you can do a couple layers and make it look wider or thicker. That's a just fine kind of idea. And I think I only have room for one more, which is good because I'm starting to run low. So this one will be at the very top edge, so I'm just going to wrap my tape right around and tape it down to the inside. Wrap this around. There's that. And I think I'm going to do a second layer here just because the yellow is a little bit see-through and I don't want to see through. So I'm going to make this one actually a little taller than my actual piñata to hide that edge. And you can choose to do that if you'd like. If you'd rather just stop right at the very top edge, you can do that too. So I'm going to wrap that around so that you can see there it kind of sticks up past. And that will give me a nice, neat edge for my piñata. And it's looking very festive and much more like a piñata now. And the only thing we have left to do is we need to add something so we can hang it up and pull on our pull strings and get the candy out. So last bit, well, second to last, we're going to take our last ribbon and put some tape on one end and take that tape and you put it down inside and you stick it down, and this you want to stick down very firmly, unlike your other ribbons, because this is going to hold it up. And you do the same thing on the other end. You put a piece of tape on, stick it down, and there you have it. You can hang up your piñata and fill it with goodies, and then when you pull the strings at the end, they'll all come falling right out. And this is a fun way. You could do this in Christmassy colors and use this as a present game at Christmas. In England, they use what are called Christmas crackers, which are very similar to this. They have a little firecracker inside that makes a big pop noise, but you could use these as Christmas crackers if you want to. You could use these at Thanksgiving as a fun Thanksgiving game. I think these are great for any celebration. Or just for a normal day when you feel like adding a little bit of pizzazz. If you have leftover Halloween candy, you can use that to fill this up. It would be super fun. And if it so happens, sometimes we have mechanical failures with these piñatas. We've had about a 75% success rate. If you pull your ribbons and your ribbons pull off instead of pulling the tissue paper off like they're supposed to, what you can do is just pop your finger right through and out will come all of the stuff in the piñata. And I hope you have a lot of fun with these. I hope you make tons and tons of them and give them to all your friends, or you just make one and you have a ton of fun playing with it. And I will see you guys next week for more crafts. Bye!